Have you ever been on a phone call or a video call and you wished there was a way to isolate your sound so that all of the noise or the background noise that's coming behind you is just basically taken away in real time? Well, I think that the AnkerWork S600 speakerphone is definitely the right tool for you. If you're a Zoom enthusiast, you always love to be on phone calls, video calls, this is going to work for you. It has a built-in battery, has really good audio. It also features a voice print technology to allow us to actually recognize only your voice in the sea of noise and make it so that it's a personal conversation. We're going to check it out. We're going to see all of the cool new features, but also check out why this is a must-have for anybody that gets on video calls or actually in certain situations, even content creators, as I'll show you in this video. This is TK and this is the AnkerWork S600 speakerphone. Let's check it out. Like and subscribe and make sure you hit that bell icon so you're always notified to whenever you have new videos on the channel. So here it is, the AnkerWork S600 speakerphone. As you can see, it's small. It's actually very, very portable. The first thing I'll probably say here is a Zoom certified device. It does have voice radar and of course 360 audio, up to 16 hours of usage. Now this is going to be depending on if you're actually charging using the Qi 2 technology that we have in there. That will actually change a little bit. But at the very, very center of this is that voice print recognition, enabling us to actually localize and actually isolate our voice and remove everything else using their AI technology built in. So as we talked about that here, voice recognition, AI noise cancellation, the 15-watt Qi 2 charging here, that's going to be the maximum, and up to 70 degrees angle basically positioning. You can have it either flat or position it up. And of course, because it's Qi 2, you can actually have your phone in portrait or in landscape. 360 5-watt clear sound that's going to be coming from the speaker built in. We have a 4-mic array with up to 48 kilohertz voice pickup, and that's going to give us the ability to pick up voice even from a certain distance. Now in the box, we have the speaker pre-assembled, ready to go, an Anker 30-watt charger, as well as 2 USB-C to C cables to be able to connect either to a device or to charge it using the charger. And of course, last but not least, it does work with both Android and iOS. And as far as the material we got in here, we have a small instruction manual, and of course the 2 USB-C to C cables and that charger that we talked about, again, small and portable. Now, if we look at the actual speaker, it's pretty straightforward to see where the microphones are positioned. 1, 2, 3, and of course 4 here, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. We have a play and pause, a volume down, a mic mute and unmute, of course answer call, volume up, and voice print turn on and off option in here. The speaker itself, again, it does have a 360 array, so it's basically pushing audio in all directions. And here is the Qi 2 technology that we have with MagSafe support. So the biggest thing I'll probably say is if you're obviously an iPhone user, you basically have the ability of putting it on, and as you can see, it's strong enough that I'm actually able to spin the phone and it's not falling. Very nice, very strong, and it's strong enough that I can actually hold the actual entire speaker with it. I can see here, picks it up, and it works absolutely fantastic. The other thing I'll probably say here on the back, we noticed that there was a couple of buttons. There's the power button, as well as the Bluetooth pairing button, so you can pair it with another device. Now, there's 2 connections in the back here. There's the charge in, that's one of the USB-C to C cables. And of course, you're also able to connect it to a system to run it as a speaker or a Bluetooth microphone speaker for your computer. Now, as I showed you guys at the beginning, this is pretty much intended, the way it's built, I think it's really intended for iOS users or basically iPhone users. This is the 13 Pro Max. As we saw, it works perfectly fine with it. Now, this is the S24 Ultra. Obviously, this does not have Qi, and this definitely does not have MagSafe built in, but you are able to pick up cases that have MagSafe built into them, and this works just exactly the same as the other one did. Works just the same, holds it very nicely, and of course even strong enough to be able to bend and open up the actual casing from it from there. Putting it down, put it in there, and again, all 360 spin. That's one of the really nice things about MagSafe. It actually not only just works, it works to a certain point and makes it so that you're actually able to position your phone. You can have your phone calls, you can record video, or even position it this way to watch content with it. Again, works in so many different ways. To be able to use this, you do need to download and install the AnkerWork application. You can launch it from there. To turn it on, press and hold the power button here for about 3 seconds. And you notice that the light turns on. There is a non-slip material sitting right there. I'll go ahead and put it down. Now, the interface is very simple. You'll see first and foremost is the battery level that we have here on the actual unit. So that's the battery level there. The AnkerWork S600, we do have a settings tab. You can jump in. There's the serial number, prompt tone. We have the indicator lights turned on. That's for the buttons that we have in there. Let's go ahead and give them showing right there. And of course, we have the bottom light turned on. We can keep it always on or turn off. Auto off after 30 minutes of non-usage. Device testing, if you want to be able to test out and see how it's working. And you can also update the firmware on it. I did receive one firmware update since I've had the unit, and it's been working perfectly fine. The voice print that we talked about before is absolutely where this is going to be very nice, because this is where you train it and you give it the ability of actually recognizing your personal experience, your personal audio, and it allows it to actually isolate that audio amongst the sea of noise that's going on. So let me show you real quick, how do we actually set up this process, as I already have it set up in here. We just jump into this section, and now we need to go ahead and create a video. There's a walkthrough on how to do it, but for the most part, what we're going to need to do is obviously accept the information here. One thing to mention is that the voice print information that we have is kept on device. It is not uploaded to the cloud, so that's something that's important to keep in mind. We accept it. It's going to give us the example. First, make sure you're in a quiet place. I am here in my office, and keep at least 50 centimeters away from the AnkerWork. So something more of a natural position if this was a speaker's position and you're talking on it. Of course, when recording, click the record button and of course start going through, and of course read the reference text in normal speed, and basically make sure that there's nothing impeding your speech. So no gum or anything in the mouth, so everything is recorded correctly. And the colors of the sky deepened. Evening approached. Once you're done recording, you hit done. And at this point, now you have an actual voice recognition profile. And to use it, all you have to do is turn it on. And at this point, whenever there's background noises, this will allow us to actually eliminate that and have a much more focused experience. And it's pretty much set. Once you have it on, you have the ability of turning it on or turning it off. Now, the one thing I will say here, there is a dedicated button positioned right on the actual unit itself. So if I actually press the button on the right side here, you'll notice that it turns it on, and actually do the exact same thing, turn it on and turn it off. So you don't necessarily have to go back to the app all the time, but it is nice to see that it is actually present. And you see here that it catches up and updates right there. Once you have that set, you're pretty much ready to go. You can launch your preferred application, and you can start using it. Actually, let's go back real quick. There is a little bit of a vault here to be able to keep private documents. The configuration setup, help me choose which option that you want to be able to set it up. All of those in there. And of course, under messages, if there is anything submitted there. But at the end of the day, once we're done with this, you're ready to start using it. You can actually just go ahead, turn it on, launch Zoom, connect it directly. You'll notice it starts charging right away. Position it to the way you want. If I'm going to be doing this configuration, or even turning on to the side, start a conversation. And again, you can position it to the level that you want. What I like about it is that it is cross-platform compatibility here, and it allows us to actually use MagSafe either built in directly to iOS devices or just using it on an Android device, as long as we have a supported case. Let's go ahead and do a quick demo here, as far as just to show you guys the demonstration of how well this is designed. I'm going to have a quick phone call on Zoom with my buddy Juan Carlos. Okay, so this is going to be a quick test. I'm here with my buddy Juan Carlos, and he's going to be helping me out. So you see him right there. We're doing the call. Obviously, we can do it in any kind of configuration that we want, but we're going to be testing out this voice profile where it enables it to disable any kind of background noise in the background, like me being able to do this. In theory, right now, if you're watching it from my side, you're listening to me clapping. If you're watching me from Juan Carlos' side, it just basically looks like I'm basically doing a very minor thing. Now, it does distort my voice every time, a little bit of distortion when you're listening to it. And I think that's because the clapping is in front of the speaker. But what if we actually recorded the clapping on my side, and I'm going to play it at 100% volume, but play it behind me. Let's see if actually that comes through on the other side. So at this point, now we have somebody behind me clapping, maybe some confusion, something going on behind me. And the intention of this, I even have Juan Carlos talking on that part behind me. And if you can't hear it on the other side, that's the intention of the S600. It's giving you clear voice regardless of the distraction around you. So the first test is going to be me just using the built-in microphones to the S24 Ultra. It's raining behind me. You should be able to hear the rain. That's partially the way the standard video recording, or if you're on a call, typically how things happen. The microphones on the actual speaker or whatever you're using are going to pick up everything. Let's go ahead and switch over to the AnkerWork S600 and see how the audio changes. We're using the Pro Video app here directly on the S24, and we're using audio from the Bluetooth speaker, which means we're using the microphones on the actual base itself. Audio should be different. Actually, you should not be able to hear the rain anymore, because that's how good this is. You can have a Zoom call outside in the rain, as long as it's not raining on you, and it should not sound like you're on a call in the rain. That's the beauty of it. Again, the demos that we're doing here are obviously straight on device. It actually does work even when I'm using it as just a video recording. If I want to record audio on a video, as long as I'm using the microphones and I've turned on that feature in the app, you should be able to get the same benefit as getting that noise isolation when you're on a Zoom call. So the intention here is to see is, can you hear my PC that's sitting right behind me and some of the noise coming in from outside? Or is it pretty much just an audio experience that you should expect, focused on the speaker and nothing else? I'm pretty sure you guys want to hear exactly how well the speaker is on the S600. So we have our favorite song, NCS Release Jumbo, and of course, that's going to be playing, and I'm not going to play it 100% because I feel like this is going to be overpowered for where we are in the office. But it's definitely going to be a good example of what it should sound like. Jack it up. Now, as you heard there with the audio, the sound is definitely very good. This is not going to be the loudest. This is not a boombox. So just keep the expectation to a small, again, 5-watt speaker that's built into here. And it gives us the ability of listening to audio. If we want to listen to music or even watch movies on this, it's going to work great. What I like about this is, again, for video calls, regardless of what system that you're using, it's going to work great. If you're using it for Zoom, it's certified for that. And what I really like about this is the content creation function of this. I can actually take this with me and be in any environment and create crystal clear sound videos directly on my device using this. Not only is it positioned, but it's actually set up in a way where I can actually record it straight up without having to hold it. I could set it up at the table and start recording with it. And that's really the main function here. Because the mics are positioned everywhere, you can even use the cameras on the back if you'd like. Position it into a TikTok mode or landscape portrait, it's just going to work the way you want it. So for professionals, for creators, for people that just want to be able to have great audio on phone calls, specifically Zoom calls and video calls, this is not going to disappoint. The S600 from AnkerWorks does the job, and it does it very well. So at the end of the day, if you decide that you do like the S600, Anker is running right now a promotion to be able to save you some money for the first early buyers that are deciding to pick it up. So make sure to check that link in the description below to be able to save some dollars on this. But even at its retail price, I think this is a must-have and fully worth every penny that you spend on it, because it's doing things that we've always wanted, and it does it on the go. Again, I don't have to keep going into the app. I can turn on voiceprint on from here, and I can be outside in the rain, background noises. It's going to focus on me and make it sound like I'm sitting by myself. I'll see you in the next video.